My name is James Williams Jr., and this is part 3 of the statue issue. Like that, right? I should probably call it issues with the statue. Either way, it's still about this damn statue. Now, went off track a little bit, and I jumped back on track because going off a track was supposed to actually make you endure my pain and suffering and understand the beauty that is being multicultural and understanding that we all have these privileges in America disguised as rights. It's high time we all learn the difference between a privilege and a right. Alright? You are privileged because you were born in this country. Some are more privileged than others, and yes, that was a fucking racist remark right there. Hey, like I said, I don't lie to my people that's following me on here. I keep that shit 100, and if you don't like it and if you can't handle it, this is not the channel for you. Alright? Straight up and down. Kung Fu Havoc #2 is not for you if you can't handle honesty, because that's what I do. Now, like I said before, I'll be the first to admit I'm going to have to get up in a second because my legs are starting to hurt. Hip replacements don't allow me to sit too long or stand too long. It's an issue. It's an ongoing issue. I got my hip replacement last year. I'm still adjusting, I guess. But whatever it is, I still have ass issues for sitting and standing. All right, back to the statue as I get off my ass. We as people in America have so many different things that we have. We have causes that need to be fought, and we have causes that pretty much could just like wash away with the tide. And this statue is a cause that I strongly believe can just wash away with the tide. As I was saying on the video previous to this about the hotel attack, because they're still looking for the suspects, at least I think they're still looking for the suspects. Haven't been able to watch the news all day today because I've been watching other things about the terrorist guy who plowed his car through people and cut people up in Ohio State and other things, and cops dying and stuff for the whole last week and the week before that, and you know, and the whole Kanye and Kim Kardashian and all that other stuff, things that don't really affect me, but they're on the news channels that I watch. Right here in Charlottesville, this damn Robert E. Lee statue thing has gone on too long. It's gone on too long. It's gone on too long. It's gone on way too damn long to fucking waste money and time and resources on shit that even if you move the statue to another park, which you don't really have the right to do because legally it's a historical monument, which historical monuments in one of those amendment laws or some shit is not legally allowed to be moved or touched without further study or reference and a legal excuse on why. Like if it's a danger to the people, like if the horse was leaning to the side from years of wear and tear and the shit's about to fall down and fuck people up, yeah, then it's a danger and it has to go. But the horse statue is not a danger. It is in the middle of the park in which the man on the statue is named for, the Robert E. Lee Park or General Lee Park or whatever the hell you want to call the motherfucker. You know, we as people have gone backwards instead of forward. We have gone backwards. We're supposed to progress, not digress, and we have digressed because of a damn statue. There's plenty of other parks. There's plenty of other routes that you can take to school. There's plenty of other things that you can find a cause worthy of your time for fighting for. Now, I'm not mad at this young girl because she's empowered. I'm not mad at her at all, really. I'm just mad at the concept of all of a sudden, one person sees this statue of a racist white man and go off. Well, here's some bad news for you. I don't like the Ku Klux Klan or the neo-Nazis or anybody racist in general. But I don't have the right to change their opinion. I have the right to have my opinion, and you have the right to have yours. I have the right to try to befriend everybody and look for the best in us all. However, this battle over this statue has brought out the worst in all. It has brought out the worst in blacks and whites, and it has brought out the worst in whites and whites. And I say it like that because there was an assload of white people with the black people who want the fucking statue gone. Cool. I respect that. But why do y'all really want the statue gone? Do y'all want the statue gone for your 15 minutes of fame? Because you can do like me and just make a YouTube video? Or do you want the statue gone because some deep-rooted sin of your ancestors is driving you to the point where, you know, my ancestors used to own black people. I want to get the statue gone as a way of motherfucking redemption. No matter what we do in the current time, in the current situation, all you people need to understand one thing. You don't need redemption for what your ancestors done. That's their fault. That's not your fault. So for you black people who hate white people because white people had slaves, it's not their fault. No one asked to be born white. No one asked to be born black. No one asked to be born multicultural. You are going to be born in the hand of fate that is given you from the moment you are conceived. You don't even know what color you are until someone teaches you what color you are. You understand? When you are a little kid, when you are a black kid or a white kid or an Asian kid or a Native American kid or whatever damn race you come from, you don't know what color you are until you get your first taste of bigotry, and prejudice, and then racist. Until you get that and are told why that happened, you don't know what color you are when you're a kid, because most kids are fucking happy until somebody else's kid has been taught some bad shit, and then they come and use that on you. First time I was called a nigger was by a white girl at Burley Moran School, and I punched her in the mouth. I hate myself for doing it. I hate myself for admitting it, and she may never ever accept my apology, but I am sorry because I knew Kung Fu at the time, and I knew better. Because one, no man should ever hit a woman, even when they're little boys and girls. A boy should never hit a girl unless it's in self-defense. That was reflex, and that was all me. Now, I didn't get in trouble at school because the principal, Mr. Garrett, was from up north, and he didn't play that racist shit. No, which was cool. But, you know, you got to understand, you can't teach your kids to be racist, and kids won't be racist when they grow up. It's just that simple. But the second that they learn about racism, the moment, and most of this shit happens in fucking history class during Black History Month, which is February, which is kind of fucked up, unless that has changed in the last few years, because Native American History Month is this month, and this month is over today, I think. Today or tomorrow. I don't really know. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but anyway, it's the end of November, and it's the end of Native American History Month. Now, the thing about being racist, when I was 5 and 6 years old, and going to school and kindergarten and everything, there was nobody calling me nigger. There was nobody calling me half-breed, and I wasn't going around calling people crackers or honkies or hicks or hillbillies or rednecks or any of that shit. I didn't know none of that shit until I got into about like the 3rd or 4th grade. And about then, that's when I learned how unfortunate I was to not be a white person. Okay? Hey, I put it out there. How unfortunate I was to not be born a white person. Alright? And society was raising people of color to always believe that white people were prettier and better and had everything else. Well, here's the thing. In society, in real life, in this goes for all people, there are poor white people. There are poor black people. Now, granted, there might be more of us that are poor, but there are still poor white people. There are poor Asian people. And granted, there are rich Asian people. But granted, there are more poor Asian people than there are rich Asian people, which is another reason why they come here, to live a better life than what they had in China, Japan, Vietnam, North or South Korea, Laos, Mongolia, Jakarta, the Philippines. This country has opened its doors and let people live their fucking dreams so that they don't have to be oppressed by communist societies and dictatorships. And I'm supposing you're all thinking, what the fuck does this have to do with that statue, James? It has everything to do with the fucking statue. If you've been hearing anything that I said, this statue being removed is a stamp in racism. It's just that simple. Now, the tables have just turned. It's just that simple. Now, you have white people and black people on this side of the fence. They want that statue gone. And you have white people on this side of the fence that wants that statue to stay. And you have me, the voice of reason. Logically, who the fuck is that damn thing hurting? Okay, it might be an eyesore to a few of you people, but honestly, it's not in physical endangerment of anyone who walks past it or wants to take a selfie with it or anything. The horse is not going to come to life. It's not going to fall off unless somebody goes over there and starts fucking with it. You know, other than that, it was made to last until it don't. Basically, this statue has become the pillar of Charlottesville racism in reverse. Now you have a whole bunch of black people with a few white people that support the black people who really want this fucking statue to be gone. And then you have a whole bunch of white people who really want the statue to stay. Now basically all this has done was create a big clusterfuck of racism over a racist man. In a part of history that we can't fucking change. That's why it's called history. That's why it's not legal to make a time machine, because people would go back and probably fuck some shit up. Although, specifically speaking, I do believe that we have one, because I'm on that time theme conspiracy thing about who the fuck was the first few doctors that taught us how to fix ourselves. Another story, another video. I believe I've already done one. It's on here somewhere. So, my point is really quite simple. You know, we're all fighting over a statue of a racist man who once led the country. Everybody feeling a familiar bell here? Because the Civil War was real, you know. Blacks fought on both sides. Most of the time, the ones fighting on the South side wasn't fighting by choice. No, they had a white overseer to make sure that these guys went in and did their damn job. Where the black soldiers who fought on the North side had a white overseer to make sure that they did their damn job. But they weren't slaves. If you don't like that song and dance that I just did, why don't you check out the Denzel Washington and Matthew Broderick movie called Glory? Because it was based on a true story. And black and white soldiers died for the UN Army. Not the Southern, but the United Army up the northern side, the North versus the South. They were killed by the South. They died. That's your spoiler alert right there. But they refused to bury the white man with the black man. And you guys want to fight over a statue? We have a whole lot of things that we don't do for our vets. And I'm a vet, so I know we don't have a lot of things that we do for vets. Robert E. Lee was a vet. Alright? So I'm not fighting because he was a vet. I'm fighting because logically, you know, it doesn't make sense for somebody to get upset about, you know, a statue. Now, let's say that statue jumped off that day at that little girl and say, hey, you little N-word, or you little B, and started doing something. Oh, hell yeah, the statue's got to go. But first, somebody's got to get paid, because we have a talking statue. Or the statue has to be eliminated, because if it came out with his personality, he probably would have attacked her and killed her. And that's a whole different level of unrealness that we can touch on later. But the fact of the matter is, in all honesty, it is a piece of ceramic. It is not a maxi pad or a condom that you can use and throw away. Alright? Yeah, that was disgusting, right? Yeah, of course it was. That's exactly why I use those metaphors. Because it's disgusting that we have a group of people who want to fight to remove a statue and a group of people who want to fight to save a statue. Don't you guys got something better to do with your time? I mean, really? Don't you have something better to do? Don't you have kids to feed? Don't you have to go to work? Don't you have something that is more logical that we should be taking care of in the city of Charlottesville? Like maybe putting trash cans on more corners so that my fucking neighborhood won't be dirtied the fuck up? Maybe finish that pathway that's going from Jordan Park all the way to downtown, and again, put some trash cans up so that people can stop throwing litter all over Rougemont? Of course you do. But that's not important because you guys want to fight over a motherfucking statue. A statue. Why don't we fight to make more park trails? And maybe we can put some statues on the trails and make the parks more communicable so that everyone can take park tours and look at the beauty that is Charlottesville. Charlottesville is a land of great opportunity if people are willing to take that chance. I like making my films here. because independent films is probably the only career I'm ever gonna have. Granted, I'm not getting paid for them, but I'm gonna tell you what. There are great places that we can put statues here. There are great places that we can film movies and everything. But no one really wants to follow me on that. But, you know, hey, I'm doing the best I can. But when it comes to this statue, and this is my closing argument. My closing argument is going right back to the first thing and thing that I have said through this whole 3 videos. Who is it physically hurting to have the statue where it's been for at least 70 years? Now, I could be wrong on my research. It may have been there longer than that. But I know that the statue is there to honor the president of the freaking Civil War on the South Side. And for the last time, get your fucking history books out, because you're going to need them. Virginia was a southern state. Alright? And if you think black people had it bad, why don't you ask a Cherokee Indian? Why don't you ask a Tappahannock? Why don't you ask a Powhatan? Why don't you ask a Creek? Why don't you ask a Seminole? Do I need to name any more? Like Apache, who had to move from out west to mid-east to Florida? There are a lot of tribes that have had to move and are still being persecuted and going through some shit today. And we, of all people, in Charlottesville, we even had one of our local guys go up there and get arrested for trying to help the Sioux Indian. And we want to fight over a fucking statue. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you, and this will be on Facebook. All 3 of them. And if you guys don't like it, whoever I offend, I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing for fucking logic. I'm not apologizing because we all decided that we want to get together and have a group of black and white people who really want to remove a statue because a young little girl was programmed to hate this statue when she could have just took a different route and saved us all a bunch of mess this clusterfuck has become. And we got a bunch of white people who want the statue to stay. Yeah, all of y'all are just fucking up. And this is just like that damn flag. This is just like the General Lee flag, the Confederate flag. People are offended of the flag. And I'm like, it is a flag, man. It is a pinnacle part of fucking history. I don't like the Virginia flag. I'm offended that the lady standing with the spear on top of the dude only got one titty out. Where the other titty at? So are we gonna can I start a clusterfuck about that? Because I think that both of her titties should be exposed. Because if I can do that, if y'all want to move the statue, let's go on this underexposed breast for the statue of Virginia. Yeah, that was perverted of me, right? Get a Virginia flag. It's a chick on there with a spear, her right titty sticking out. I want to see both titties. That's right, I said it. I want to see both titties. If she can spear a dude, she can spear to show that extra breast. That's what they're there for me to look at. That's what the statue is there for. Did I make my point with that? I hope that I did. And I'm sorry for all you females that I just offended, but hey, I love titties. I'm sorry. Let me be politically correct. I love breast. Alright? I really love breast. And if this warrior can fight with one breast sticking out and stabbing a man with the spear, which is the state flag of Virginia, then I think that she can stab a man, and that's probably how she stabbed him, because he was probably too busy looking at that one exposed breast, which is how she caught him sleeping. She would have killed me too, because that would have been what I would have been looking at just before that knife pierced my throat. Anyway, I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. And if we're going to get the statue removed, I want that drape off the flag. I want that drape that's covering up her left breast. I want that shit go. I want to see a brand new state of Virginia flag with 2 breasts hanging out. 2 of them. Deuces, people. But think about that damn thing with the flag. If you're going to remove the statue, then I want a new flag. I want a state flag that's still surrounded. The whole picture can be exactly the same. I'm just asking for a piece of clothing to be removed. Think that shit over. Watch how many bad comments I get on this shit. Be seeing ya.